Hi, my name is Sanz. I'm the co-founder and CTO of Geeklist. We started Geeklist about a year ago. It was born out of a dream I had a long time ago to unite all geeks and build better ways to connect them with great companies.
And I'm Rueben Katz, CEO, co-founder of Geeklist, and I help Christians spread the gospel of Geeklist around the world.
I think the biggest hurdle for me on the personal side has been, I have a family. I have a 3-year-old. It's really tough to maintain weekends and nights coding and working. So that's been the biggest hurdle. The fact that I don't have a lot of time to spend with them. That has been I think the biggest one. For the most part, since we've launched, it has been pretty successful. Thank God. But I say the personal side has been the biggest one.
I think for me the biggest hurdle has definitely been jumping into and diving deep into the developer world, because my background wasn't necessarily specifically focused on developers. So I've had to spend a lot of extra time catching up and learning from Christian more about the developer industry. I've had a bit of hurdle with the family issues. They live in San Diego and I'm now living basically in San Francisco to launch this. So I think that's been a slight hurdle, but fortunately I've got an understanding wife. Gosh, I think we've definitely been tripped up a little bit by the fact that we're not definitely from originally the inside circle within San Francisco. I think there's a specific network of people that do very well or know each other that get funded very quickly. So for us, we've reached deep into our own personal pockets, as well as our people that we know in our networks, to help overcome that. So we've had to go out and actually bring together people that Christians worked with, or people I've worked with, or people that we've known, and really hustle a little bit harder, I think, than someone who's come straight out of Google that already has that network built. So I think that was an initial hurdle. Now that we've proven the model a little bit, and now that Christians proven the technology, I think we've overcome that.
Obviously Twitter. Strategically, we launched with Twitter mainly so that we could, have that social loop back. And our authentications uses Twitter, and obviously eventually we're going to actually extend to have Facebook, GitHub, and all of that. But initially, we think that using Twitter has been a great platform for spreading the gospel, like you call it.
Yeah, I think Twitter is a phenomenal one as well as I think something that's been very great for us as a startup getting new into San Francisco, and kind of new in the ecosystem there, was probably I think Rocket Space was a really good really good tool for us, because it's a co-working space in San Francisco where we've met good people that have now worked with us. We've networked with a lot of very good people there. I think that was a very good, useful tool for us starting up. And then our own community has built up and become very useful as well. And they're very, very passionate about it. And that's helped us expand internationally into cities like Berlin and Riga, and cities that we couldn't afford to as a startup get into and express our vision into. But we found people that we've turned into ambassadors, and they've become very passionate about what we're doing. Guys like Stefan in Germany and Berlin, and Audrey's working with us now in Paris, and we've got people like Lee in Glasgow who are doing great stuff. Herman, who's actually not just an ambassador in Santiago, Chile, but he's also become a coder now for us, and he's doing some side work for us. So I think leveraging our own community has been one of our most useful tools as well. And that's one of the things I've learned about working with the developer community, is that they're extremely passionate about something they love. If they either love you or they hate you. And if they love you and they get behind you, you find that they're very passionate about it, willing to speak about it. I mean, you give them cool t-shirts and stickers, and yes, by the way, we are looking for more ambassadors in about 100 other cities.
The other thing, like you said, the fact that we are focused on building things for developers, they know that. They know that everything that we do is built for them. That passion kind of, that's why the passion just kind of blows up, and everybody feels really strongly about, Geeklist.
The natural abyss of raising our next round of funding, of course. I mean, we're working diligently with a couple of really, really solid investors up in Silicon Valley, and one or two in New York, and a new one out of China, to do our Series A round. And I think that we're at the abyss of closing that. I guess that's our current abyss. The other abyss is breaking our next ground in user acquisition. We're really pushing forward hard to try and reach 250,000 users by the end of the year. So finding the tools to get us over that hurdle and into that next level of user acquisition, I think is where we're standing teetering at the edge of.
Yeah, and the big one too is that we've gotten really popular. People love our product, and the big abyss is making sure that we continue to do that. That we continue building things that our developers love.
Yeah, that's a great point, because our companies also that we're working with are now demanding new tools from us because they're loving what they're doing and what they're finding. They're saying, well, can you add this and can you add that? And now I guess we're at that crossroads where it's about time to explode into the next level of product development.
I think, for me personally, I truly want to see this get really big. If it helps as many people as possible, that's what inspires me. If I can reach as many developers, as many geeks out there, and the paths to get there is obviously grow really big, and that's what inspires me.
I think I share the same inspiration. I mean, being able to help people globally find better opportunities, but even more so being able to communicate better about stuff that they've done in their past and achievements is something that inspires me very, very much, is spreading that word about that. I think that the other thing that probably inspires me a lot is the idea of changing the game of how people communicate what they've done in the past on a more global scale, helping children, helping people in universities and helping people that are just getting out of school express what they've done in the past is something that's very inspiring for me as well. And meeting with other founders, and it keeps us inspired, I think, talking to other people that are in the same position.
And also the potential of, like Ruben said, the potential of changing the way things are done today, that inspires me a lot, because we're, right now we have a certain process of how developers communicate and create relationships with companies. And I feel like we're changing that, and that's really inspirational. For me, I have a lot of people I look up to, but the person who really sticks out the most, the person who really I feel like I'm looking up to in terms of on the business side has been Keith Richmond. He's my old CEO. He's the founder of Break Media, and he's been able to grow a company. I remember I was the first employee. We were a little tiny, scrappy, startup, and grew to a huge international video media company, and he did it in a matter of years. And just watching him execute in all different levels, and how he hired people, who he brought in, was really a great school for me.
And I think for me, the people that inspire me, I think, come on two different sides. I'm really inspired by brand leaders like Steve Jobs and how he built the brand. But I think from a business side, I'm inspired a little bit by my partner each day, because he's really passionate about working 24/7. I think that also keeps me churning faster too. And I'm inspired a lot by my wife, who's been an entrepreneur for 20 years and a CFO. So she kind of guides me and inspires me every day to do better. And also my daughter, who's 5. She's daily inspiration every morning.